Hello well-wishers and welcome to my channel Aspiring Minds. Today, let's go deep into the captivating world of George Orwell's classic Animal Farm. So grab your watchful seats and let's begin this journey. Animal Farm is not just a story about talking animals, but it urges us to question the leaders, to take out the different layers of meaning that are hidden behind their power-hungry intentions. It is not merely a tale of barnyard politics. It calls us to question the ideals which are stated by the political leaders, cautioning against being blindly loyal towards people who are in power. To understand the story, there are 6 major characters that you need to keep in mind. We have Major, he is the old boar or the old pig. He inspires the philosophy of animalism. We have Snowball, he is a rebellion leader. He plans the windmill project but he is ultimately chased off by the dogs who were sent by Napoleon. That brings me to who is Napoleon. He is the leader who is said to be a tyrant, who is said to be a ruler who is not at all considerate towards his people who follow him. Next, we have Squealer. He is a manipulative person. He manipulates the thoughts of others and he constantly keeps justifying the actions of Napoleon as being correct. We have Boxer. We already know he is a very dedicated horse. He constantly helps in the windmill project, but ultimately he is sold off to a glue boiler after his collapse, after he is not able to work enough. And then we also have Mr. Jones. He is the owner of the manor farm and he is the one who represents the human beings who are considered to be oppressive, dominating by the animals in the animal farm. Now, the setting of the story is the manor farm. Orwell's tale explores the complexities of power, rebellion, and the dangers of unchecked authority. In chapter 1, we see a character called Mr. Jones who is drunk. Now, because of this, he is not able to provide food to the animals. We also have Old Major, who is a wise old pig, and he sparks a revolution with his passionate and motivational speech about the animals suffering because they are being controlled by human beings. Now this makes the animals unite. They come together and they sing Beasts of England, dreaming of a world without human beings. This rebellion begins and exaggerates. It becomes even more complex when Mr. Jones neglects the animals and he forgets to give them food. Now there are 2 pigs called Snowball and Napoleon who take the charge and responsibility of educating the animals about animalism. Now there are multiple distractions that come their way, but the pigs are successfully able to convey the principles or the rules of animalism. The rebellion or the fight occurs where Mr. Jones is thrown out and Animal Farm is born. Snowball and Napoleon symbolize intellectual leadership, that is, they are intelligent creatures who are able to establish a strong ground for animalism. That is how animals start ruling, and they name the farm Animal Farm instead of Manor Farm now by throwing out Mr. Jones. Now at this time, the animals have taken over the farm, but they are facing challenges in adapting to the tools which were previously used by human beings, but still they collaborate with one another and finish the harvest in the target time that they had thought of. Snowball and Napoleon have a debate where they both have a difference in opinion about the future. Now Snowball's failed committees and Napoleon's focus on education set the stage for power struggle. Napoleon is able to convince people while Snowball is not being able to win the situation at all. Now, there are two leaders who were trying to take charge of the animal farm, and now, when the news spreads that these two rulers, that is Napoleon and Snowball, are not at ease with one another, their goals are not matching, this news spreads, and Mr. Jones wants to take revenge, and he seeks the help of the neighboring farmers. At this time, the Battle of Cowshed takes place, and it shows how Snowball is a very tactful ruler. He is able to win the battle. The animals celebrate the victory, but first face the signs of internal struggle. Because of Snowball's intelligence, they have won the Battle of Cowshed, so that's a happy thing. But at the same time, it shows that Snowball as a ruler is growing in power compared to the other pig, that is the Napoleon. Now winter arrives, and we see that Molly betrays the pigs by indulging with human beings. The pigs come together and they decide about what are the policies they are going to adopt for a better rule of the animal farm. Now the debate over the windmill takes place, and it symbolizes a struggle for progress versus security. They were trying to build a windmill, but they are not being able to do that. Now Snowball at this time is chased off the farm by Napoleon's dogs. Napoleon is not at all happy with the fact that Snowball is building a windmill and he's getting more power. So Napoleon hires dogs, and he is thrown out. Snowball is thrown out of the farm by being chased out by the dogs. Now Napoleon's surprising announcement of building the windmill is initially not liked by Snowball, and it also shows how there is a lot of manipulation that takes place by people in authority. Now the struggle intensifies. The animals are working very hard on the windmill project, which is being led by the unwavering strength of Boxer. Boxer was basically a horse, and he was showing a lot of interest and was putting in all the strength in his store to build the windmill project. Napoleon initiates trade with neighboring farmers, and he introduces the element of commerce for the first time in the animal farm. Now the rumors circulate among human beings that animal farm is destined to fail, but Mr. Jones abandons his attempts to get back the farm. The pigs move into the farmhouse, which is a symbol of the shifting of dynamics, and Squealer justifies their new lifestyle to the other animals because the pigs no longer consider themselves as equal with the other animals, but instead they move into the farmhouse and they opt for leading a better luxurious lifestyle than other farm animals. With the growing power of the pigs, the animals face starvation as Napoleon manipulates Mr. Whymper to spread a propaganda or a news about how Animal Farm is becoming a very rich and prosperous farm. And he wants to spread this news, and the news should go to the human world. The hens at this time start protesting because Napoleon also tells that, four-legged creatures are better than the two-legged creatures, and hens are two-legged creatures. So they start protesting. However, the hens' protest leads to their death, and Snowball also becomes a kind of a threat. Now, Squealer at this time spreads a false story about Snowball by saying that Snowball is coming very close with the human beings, so he's also violating the rules which had been decided when Animal Farm was established. Now there is a brutal meeting that takes place between Napoleon and Snowball, and there is a lot of confession done. There are executions, or animals are murdered. And at this time, a new anthem is developed or introduced by Minimus. Now the pigs are becoming more and more powerful, and because they are eating more food, there is less food that is left for the other animals. Napoleon at this time sells timber to Frederick, which leads to a confrontation. The Battle of Windmill takes place at this time. The animals are victorious, but at the same time they suffer a significant loss, because I told you war is never a solution, but still they go ahead with the war. Even though they win, they suffer a lot of loss because of material wealth being lost. Now, Napoleon's sudden decree against alcohol is followed by the discovery of whiskey, which highlights how there is hypocrisy which is done by the rulers. Though he was against alcohol, when he discovers whiskey, he is, his mindset changes. So this shows that hypocrisy is at the root of authority. People present themselves as something, but their actions do not match or align with what they are saying. Now, after the Battle of Windmill, obviously the windmill cannot be constructed anymore, no matter how much hard Boxer tries. So he, being the example of hard work, meets a tragic end because the pigs betray him. At the same time, the animals are celebrating victory, but at the same time they are struggling because the resources that they had at hand are now depleting. They are diminishing because the pigs are taking all the leftover resources under their control. Now at this time, however, Squealer continues to manipulate other animals, saying that there is going to be provision where the standard of living of all the animals, including the pigs, will improve, and the piglets will also get education. So Animal Farm after this is declared as a republican form of government, that is, and Napoleon is decided as the ultimate ruler or the president of this rule of this kingdom of the Animal Farm. Ultimately, what happens? Years pass and Animal Farm faces a lot of changes. A lot of deaths occur, the boundaries of the farm expand, and the second windmill project is completed. Shockingly, the pigs now begin to walk on two legs wearing human clothes. Remember, earlier there was a rule that was passed that people on the or animals on the four legs are better than the two-legged creatures, and that is how the hens had revolted, but the hens were killed. Now you see how the situation takes a complete turn, where the pigs are now beginning to walk on two legs and they are imitating human beings by wearing human clothes. So the 7 commandments that they had thought of following are now changed. There is a chilling scene towards the end where the neighboring farmers visit Animal Farm and Napoleon announces a return to the farm's original name, that is the Manor Farm. The pigs and human beings converge or meet in their actions, and the lines between the oppressor and the oppressed are now blurred. That is, human beings once again re-enter Animal Farm, and it now changes its name to Manor Farm, and now we no longer know who is the oppressor and who is the oppressed. Earlier, the main reason why the Manor Farm's name was changed to Animal Farm was because they were having a problem with the way in which human beings would treat animals. But towards the end, we see how human beings are once again welcomed to this farm, and the name changes back to being called Manor Farm. So that's it from this video. I hope you liked it. Do hit the like button. Subscribe to my channel for more such future updates. Thank you for watching. Bye.